50K a month with one condition is better than 100K a month. And I'll tell you why. Because 11 years ago, I built my very first $1 million education product. It was called Ecommerce Engine, and it was a program helping e-commerce businesses scale. And from when I launched it to 13 months later, it generated $1.3 million. And then I pivoted into another program called Authority Architecture, and I did the same thing. And on that trajectory up that accelerated as I went over time, I scaled to about 250K a month. And as I grew those two education businesses, I accumulated costs. I accumulated team, I accumulated ad spend, I accumulated infrastructure, operations, delivery, until I realized that I needed to do 250K a month every single month. I needed to run the funnels. I needed to spend money on ads. I needed to pay the salespeople. I needed to pay the ops. I needed to pay and there were all these dependencies that meant that I just had to keep pedaling. And getting fast money is really attractive, right? And there is a paradox in it. And pretty much every time someone gets fast money, that money is much more volatile than slow money, because the way it's accumulated and the way it's accrued means that it's like squeezing a lemon. It has to be squeezed harder and harder and harder, and the force required to do it on an ongoing basis generally runs out eventually. And you see this all the time in the coaching and the consulting and the agency space, where someone will scale really, really fast to a particular number, get the speed wobbles, they'll have something break like a funnel or a sales team or something, and then they slide backwards. And the profitability and everything that was happening and everything that the owner was extracting, and usually the owner was working harder than when they were making 50 or 100K, actually just goes away. And then they start from scratch. And the amount of times I've started from scratch and the amount of times I've had people come to me who want to burn it down is more than I can count, because until I got a little bit of, age and wisdom and mentorship, I was focused on growing things as fast as possible. And this comes to the present day when I've been building, over the last few months, an AI coaching platform, investing a lot of time, investing a lot of money. And in the process of that, my business has just cruised along. Very profitable. The daily and weekly requirements on me are relatively low, because I built the type of money that is the most valuable type of money there is, and that is recurring revenue. And I will maintain that 50K a month recurring is a better position than 100K a month collected. And that will be despite 99% of people and 99% of the hooks and titles and things on YouTube or ads you see or Instagram or whatever, talking about the fastest way to get to 6 figures a month or whatever the promise will be. And the skills accumulated in getting them really fast are really, really valuable. But, over a decade of doing this and over a decade of seeing people come and go, the amount of people who've held on and maintained it and actually extracted real money and real wealth that they've been able to use for themselves and their families is actually pretty small, because they kept going on the speed hamster wheel, the scaling, do it fast, get there as fast as possible and hold on. And if you've got a ton of, young man energy and you think you can maintain that, then good for you. You're going to learn a lot along the way. And maybe in 5 or 6 years' time, you watch this video and go, maybe Uncle James had a point there. So the lower the volatility in a business and the lower the variance between your monthly revenue, the lower stress it is, and the more the decisions you make turn out to be better longer term decisions, because you're not trying to beat last month. And these days I hear people trying to beat last week, let alone last month. And that codes and encodes every decision that people make, every choice they make, every investment they make, every place they put their time and energy into the decision that gets them the shortest possible return without concern how much of that decision actually impacts them in the future. And you'll see this with people trying to charge the most amount of money and extract the most amount of money out of people on a sales call because they're spending a ton on marketing. Their closes, investment is going up, and they have to get that money up front. And there's no, proposition of a long-term gain. I had 8 clients in town over the last 3 days. Many of those clients are coming back for the second, third, and fourth time, and I have these multi-year relationships because I've focused on the value equation that we transfer to each other rather than, you need to give me the most amount of money today or up front or anything like that. And some of these clients have gone through periods of not, investing with me, or maybe having a very low level of access or membership, down to $50 a week if they've got access to, some of my content and material and now tools. But they come back when they've got something that they want to grow, when they want a strategic input on it, or they're kind of they've run into the ceiling of like, we've run it really fast and now we want to make it stable. And so 100K a month once, isn't frankly that special anymore. Being able to do 100K a month for multiple years, I've done it 7 out of the past 10, is probably a little bit more telling over what that person is going to be able to do in the future, rather than being a one-hit wonder. So, 50K recurring with profit is peace. 100K a month makes a great headline. Headlines don't pay the bills, but profit in the bank and peace in your soul definitely do. So, maybe 50K is the new 100 if you're doing it the right way.